day, good afternoon. Bruce Marziani here, doing another video talking to you today about New York real estate. So, um, I wanted to talk a little bit today about the agent selection process. So, this is a very, very important process in my view, and it often gets kind of kicked to the side or overlooked. Let me give some examples. So, very, very oftentimes, home buyers begin their search online. They'll go to Zillow or Trulia or some other third-party real estate-related website. I sort of have a little bit of pet peeves with some of those websites because a lot of the information that they post is simply not accurate. But nonetheless, consumers frequent those web pages and they begin their search online and they look at different active listings and they try to determine what price points look like in select neighborhoods that they're interested in. And then they start calling agents that are being advertised online, either the listing agent for that particular property or just an agent that they're featuring, that might be a pro member or whatever have you. And they being the buyers, they call this random agent to try to inquire about a property, ask a couple of questions, and ultimately schedule a showing. This is okay, but it's probably not the most informed approach, because if you begin to think about this, the home buying process is a very important one, and you're ultimately going to be making one of the most high-end expenditures of your entire life. Now, if you're going to buy multiple homes in your lifetime, which is possible and perhaps even probable, maybe it won't be the most important purchase or the most expensive purchase you've ever made or will ever make, depending on the price point. But anytime you buy a home, it's important enough. And even if it's on the cheaper end of what you've purchased in your lifetime, it's still a substantial investment. And you're entrusting all of this to a random agent that you just sort of bumped into online, who you saw advertised online by a third-party website or whatever have you. And that third-party website is simply only advertising them because that agent paid for a subscription or whatever can be said for that. That third-party website doesn't even necessarily know whether that agent has any integrity or not, or whether or not they're a reputable agent. To me, it just seems like grabbing an agent randomly online that you know nothing about is probably not the best approach. Now, granted, you might not be from the area, you might not be able to get a referral from a friend or family member or a colleague or somebody that you know for an agent, and so starting online seems like the only suitable place to go. And if that's the case, and that's how you're finding these agents, I would ask that you consider interviewing the agent a little bit. However, it seems to me so frequently when I take on new buyers, they inquire about a property, they want to know if it's still fully available, they might ask a couple of questions about the listing, and then they want to schedule a showing, and they may or may not have a pre-approval, and they want to schedule a showing, they want to go see it. If the showing goes well, maybe they'll place an offer, maybe not. If the showing doesn't go well, they won't place an offer. And then I may or may not ever even hear from them again. And it's just sort of like a crapshoot, the way that these showings can sometimes go, and the relationship building and the rapport building. And I try to avoid really doing stuff like that anymore, because it's not to my benefit, and I don't believe it to be to the benefit of the home buyer either, because you're not learning anything about me, you're not learning much at all about the value that I can bring. You haven't investigated me, you haven't reviewed any testimonials, you haven't talked to me about past deals that I've closed. You really don't know how it is that I'm acting in your best interest, or how integrous I may be. You're not really looking into anything like that. I'm just some guy driving around with keys opening doors for you. I would suggest very, very strongly, especially in an important purchase like a home purchase, interview your agent. Tell them about yourself, tell them about your goals, okay? Talk to them about how much money you have to spend. If you have a pre-approval, send it to them. If you don't have a pre-approval, please look into getting one. Ask them if they can recommend any home lenders that might be helpful for them. Go through that process. Ask your agent how many years they've been in the business. Ask them how they like their brokerage. Ask them if they've closed similar deals before, right? Ask them if they have a website, and if they do, go on that website and read about them. Certainly ask them if they have a YouTube site. If you were to ask me, obviously I would point you here. If they do have a YouTube site, watch a few of their videos. Like, investigate your agent, look into it a little bit, and build that rapport with your agent, because building trust and loyalty between agent and buyer is really, really key to getting through that whole process. And once you have someone that you can trust, that you feel comfortable with, man, oh man, do you feel a whole heck of a lot more comfortable with the home buying process in general. So this idea of just like randomly going online, selecting whatever agent happens to pop up that's being advertised on the side menus next to a listing, maybe it's a listing agent, maybe not, and then just kind of rocking and rolling with that agent. And if the showing goes well, maybe you'll place an offer. And if the showing doesn't go well, maybe you'll disappear off into cyberspace, never to be seen or heard from ever again. You're just kind of bouncing from agent to agent to agent, not building that loyalty, not building that trust, not building that respect between client and salesperson. I don't think that benefits you at all. And I will tell you, as an agent, the folks that are communicative with us and talk to us and ask us questions and work with us closely and remain in continuous contact with us and treat the relationship as if it's a true relationship, right? And show some level of loyalty to us. Boy, oh boy, do we really return that. We appreciate it, and we return that. And those folks that listen, that communicate, okay, that take my suggestions into consideration, that ask questions, and take my advice into consideration, that work very closely with me, those are the buyers and sellers too, but those are the clients that really have the absolute maximum likelihood of closing a deal and getting the home that they want. So, randomized crapshoot approach is the first way to do it. Okay, my approach with the rapport building and the mutual respect between agent and client is the other way to do it. And I promise you, the latter almost is always much, much more successful. So, seems like a very simple, straightforward video, and it is, but over 50% of the buying population in the state of New York is simply not doing it very effectively. So, I hope this video was helpful. Definitely give it a try. Give me a thumbs up or a subscribe if it was helpful to you. And please definitely check out my other videos. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bruce Marziani. Have a good day. Bye-bye.